This is section 3.2, and we're still in quadratic functions. Last chapter was linear functions. So this second section is solving quadratic equations. And we're not going to do these quite like you did in Algebra 2, so make sure that you follow the directions on this video as you do your homework. So we're not factoring, which is what you did in Algebra 2. So this number one, if you were in Algebra 2, you would have did A times C, split the B, GCF, GCF, GCF. So that's where A is not equal to 1. Or you could have did the quadratic formula, which we're not doing on this either. But we're going to solve these and be really careful you're following directions using your graphing calculator. Answers must be exact. Okay? So on this one right here, I would put this in my calculator. I would say y1 equals y2. And you'll notice on this one that when you do that, your y1 is going to look like this. So you're going to actually do this. I'm going to show you how to do this. There's your y1. And your y2 is going to be y equals 0, which is a horizontal line, which is actually the x-axis, right? And then you're going to calculate. So I have this. We did the first step here. Use the intersection method. So you're going to calculate the intersection. And we're going to have two of them on here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to solve. So let's go to our graphing calculator right now and actually do that. So you're going to have 6x squared minus 13x plus 6. And I'm just going to do a zoom 6. I don't know what I had in here last time. That's just going to make my graph nice and equal. And we'll see if we can see both of them on here. So there's my first one. There's my y1. And I forgot to put my y2 in there because my y2 didn't come out. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to push enter. I'm going to put a 0 here. And that's going to show my y2. And that's the red line there. So I want to find both of these. I want to find this one here and this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate the intersection, number 5. And I'm going to get to the left of this right here. So I'm first curve here. And I'm just going to push so it hops. I need it to hop between these two. So I'm going to go enter, enter, enter. And that's going to give me this. Now the x, it had to round it somewhere, so it rounded it way over here. But you should know that 0.6 repeating, which is this, is the same as 2/3. So that's going to be 2/3. I'm going to find my other intersection. So I'm going to calculate the intersection, and I'm just sliding over a little too far because I want it to go between these two, so it's going to pick up that intersection. So when you have two intersections, you want to make sure you're close to the one that you're trying to find. Watch it hop because you want to see where it's going. And that one's going to be 1.5 and 0. So if I go back to my sheet, this one here is going to be 2/3, 0. And this one here is going to be 1.5, 0. So if I asked you to find me the zeros, you would say the zeros are x equals 2/3, comma, and 1.5. Some of them, as we keep going, we might have 4 or 5 zeros here. This one we have 2. If I asked you to write this in factored form, which I'm going to do on this one just so you can see it, where did these come from? So they came from here, and then they went into factored form. That's where you would have factored if you were in Algebra 2, and then you got the actual solutions. So if you had to do that process, the factored form, you would have had x minus 2/3 and x minus 1.5, because you would have set both those equal to 0, moved the 2/3 over and the 1.5 over to get this. So this would have been the factored form, and then these are the solutions. Let's take a look at number 2. Another one I would not want to factor. So again, you're going to, in order to do this one, I don't want you to move the 6 over. I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to go y1 equals y2. And you know that you're going to end up with, on this one, your y2 is going to be at y equals 6, right? And then your y1 ends up to look like this. and you're going to find these intersections right here. And when you find the intersections, your answer is actually going to be the x part, right? And we're looking for 2 of them. So we're going to go into our graphing calculator again, go into the y equals, clear that out. And I'm going to actually clear out my second one too. And I'm going to go ahead and type these in. So I've got my 10x squared plus 11x. And then my right side ended up to be 6. So I'm going to go ahead and graph with what I had on there before, see if we can see it. And there we go. And now we need to find this intersection and this intersection. So I'm going to calculate the intersection, number 5. And I'm going to move over just so I'm close to this one right here. I'll find this one first. So enter, enter, enter. So it's hovering around that intersection, which is 0.46. So you're going to put that on your graph. And then I'm going to calculate my second intersection. And because I have 2 intersections on here, I need to just move this little bug over by this one. So when I push my enter, notice how it hovers around that intersection, negative 1.5 and 6. So if I go back to my sheet here, this is going to be negative 1.56, and this one here is going to be 0.46. So those are my 2. So my actual answer is going to be negative 1.5 and 0.4. So those are my actual answers for this one. Number 3. Let's just look at before we move on, let's just look to see what would have been the factors before this last step. Like what would have been right here? So I would have factored this. I would have had x plus 1.5 and then x minus 0.4. Because when I moved that over, I would have ended up with a negative. When I moved that over, I would have ended up with a positive. Okay, let's take a look at this last one here. y1, y2. You're going to go ahead and put that in your calculator. This one is going to be, my y2 is going to be way down here, right? At negative 1,000. So think about that when you're doing your windows on this one. And then the other one is going to kind of look like this. You don't know this until you do yours though. So I'm really trying to find, this is my XY axis, but I'm really trying to find this point here and this point here. So it's going to be something negative 1,000 and then something negative 1,000. So I'm going to go back to my calculator. Oops. I'm going to go into my y equal. I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to type in my 10x squared plus 11x. And then my next one's going to be, oops, I'm doing the wrong one here. Let me clear that out and do that again. So I got all 3 of those in. Make sure that when you do this negative here, that you are using the negative button, not the subtraction, or you're going to get a syntax error on that. And then if I did my normal graph, you're going to probably see part of the graphs, but not all of them. So here's my first one. We know it's opening up. So we see the 1. Do you see how it right here, it kind of moves over a little bit? So we know it's going to be over there. So I need to change my window. So maybe I go negative 10, but maybe my y or my x max, so I need to go this way more. So maybe I end up at 50. See if that helps. And I could check it out just to see if it helped. So there's 1. And I'm not seeing it still. So I'm going to actually, because I'm really looking for this y minimum, I'm going to go negative 1,100 on the y minimum. And let's just see, that's going to bring my graph down. There's my 1. It's coming back over here somewhere. And here's my line across. So I need to move this x over a little bit more. So I'm going to go into my window again, and I'm going to move the x over, and maybe I go to 100 this time. And let's see what that looks like on my graph. And it doesn't look like I can still see I'm still missing over here where this is coming up. So I'm going to change my window, and this is what you need to do. So make sure you have time to work through this by not taking too much time on other problems, because some of the windows will be a little trickier. So I'm just going to go bigger and see if I can see that or not. And I still can't see it. Okay, so I figured out I made a mistake in my, I had a negative in front of this 3, so I changed that. And then I changed my window. I did 0 to 50 and then negative 1100 to 10. And you probably didn't make that mistake. So there you go. So I want to calculate the intersection. And it's at x equals 25 right now. So I just need to find it. The y is at negative 1300, so I'm not able to see it quite yet. It should be coming up here pretty quick because I went to 1100. There it is right there. So it's hovering around this one, so I want to make sure that when I push all my enters, it's right around that one. So it's 33 1/3 negative 1000. And then I'm going to calculate my intersection on my next one. I need to bring it on over. If I watch my x and my y's, or I could come across there. I just need to get over, oops. I'm watching my y pop up here. There it is. So enter, enter, enter. And that's going to be at 10 negative 1000. So I'm going to go over here. So this is going to be negative 33 1/3 and 10. So my m, not my x, my m is equal to negative 33 1/3 and 10 are my final answers on that one. This screen I would like to go over just how to simplify square roots so they are the exact numbers.